wonders, mountain high and fireside. You will always meet a smile. Face and race don't matter to we. Hearts and hands help build this country. This is home, welcome to my place. Rain or shine, it's plenty niceness. That's the place we truly prefer. Together we'll build a spire. Together build advance. That's the motto of my land, my sweet homeland, my land, my sweet homeland, my land, my sweet homeland, my land, my sweet homeland. Grenada, 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 Grenada. Cause there is no island in the world, no place that you'd rather be than right here in my country. I'm telling you, go all over the world, no place that you'd rather be than right here in my country. Masterclass experience to see, one people we on one journey, head up high walking with pride, future bright, let's take full flight. Many trials we've encountered, all is one breaking down barriers. Grenada, the land of spice, no street like this paradise. 3 islands, one guarantee, once a year you won't want to leave. Take a walk or take a drive, safest place you'll be in life. For this land I'm singing this song, on the side is where I belong. Together build advance, that's the motto of my land, my sweet homeland, my land, my sweet homeland, my land, my sweet homeland, my land, my sweet homeland. Grenada, 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 Grenada. Together building a fire, together taking it higher is all our way. A sight to say. Together building a fire, together taking it higher is all our way. A sight to say.
Man, there is a place that is under the sun, 133 square miles. Even though we very small, come visit, you'll have a ball. I tell you, this is a paradise. A lot of people don't know we have nutmeg and cocoa. That is how we came the Isle of Spice. So in 1974, Uncle Gary fought for so. That is when we became recognized. But that wasn't sufficient. We wanted independence, so we could be proud like Trinidad. Gary came back from England. That day was liberation. He brought back the ice, gold and green flag.
And good night to Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique.
Anniversary.
Once again, it is time for Talking Points.
Little country. Now won't you
And my name is Sheldon Scott. I'll be here with you up until the 10 o'clock hour. It's now 6 minutes after the hour of 8 o'clock on the Spice Isle of Grenada.
let us live in unity?
Papa Jerry! Hey!
Party. Even the blind could see. This year is history.
Let me say a special good night to my good friend Cello. Yeah, Durity, good night to you, bro.
Now I know there was a time under the British rule, Grenadian was still treated as slaves.
What's up, brother Durity? I ain't you, brother Durity. Where's that scene, man?
We wore the white man footstool. Thank God we Uncle Gary was brave. That is why in 51, the man he created a storm. He fought to preserve my heritage. He made the hood
Good night, Xavier.
with very little blood.
Good night, Adejan.
Is when we turn a brand new page.
Good night, Neela. Good night, Namara.
That was very important.
A special good night to you, Zayla.
standard.
Special good night to you, Zoe.
Was not relevant. We could not even walk in pants.
7 minutes after 8, time to head to bed.
Happy anniversary to my little country.
Yeah, I've got to get used to being a left-hander with something I'm doing here.
Melody, we celebrating 50. Let us live in unity.
Special good night to all of you on the YouTube. Let's see who's on the YouTube tonight.
Even the blind could see.
And all of the listeners via Noise Radio. We Noise, good night to you, Wade. On the YouTube, good night to you, Debbie Seals, Alban Harris, Kathleen Ledlow, Asma Charles, Listra Abraham, good night to you. Let me see, Francis George, Errol Bonaparte, and Andrews Faithlin, Hallie Douglas, Sherma Jeremiah, Vanessa Lalji, Deborah Laborde, Claude Abraham, bro. Yeah, Phyllis Mitchell, Maud Martin, Cynthia Bartholomew, Maria Noel, Jackie Raymond, Janice Mitchell, Irva Purcell, Stephanie John, good night to you, Natalia, your husband, the entire home circle. Yeah, Gemma Warwood, Yolan Pariok, Baby Daddy. Yeah, good night to you, bro. Good Life, Carib Spice Fitness, Osbot James, Sky, Agnes Henry, Denise Sandy, Wilfred Antwine, Arlene Fletcher, Velma Pascal, Antonito, Deborah Laborde, Marlon Ferguson, Patsy Frank, Rodney Barry, Miriam Samuel, Cindy Thomas, Kathleen Knights, Ron Julian, Bev, good night to you, Christine Otley, Clive, Adrian Watts, good night to you, your family, the entire home circle, and especially good night to your lovely wife. John Stafford, Michelle Alexander, Oswald Belfon, Red Girl Pascal, Lona Lolo Williams, good night to you. Jerome Lewis, Kim Creedland, Abraham Pope, good night to you, my brother. Marlon Panchu, Dolores Redhead, Hillary Joseph, Sonia Price, Earl Benjamin, Savage Gold Queen, good night to you. Sherms Houston, good night. Sandra Joseph, good night to you. Yes, St. Lucia in the house. My St. Lucian people, I love them, they love me. Teresa Joseph, The Saint, Merle Patrick, Kelvin Alexis, good night, bro. Public notice, a special good night to each and every one of you. I could come in here tonight and I do bring my water. What kind of thing is that? I bring my water with me tonight, you know. Yeah, I have to go and get my water just now, you know. Yeah, I have to go and get my water just now. You all got to excuse me a second while I get my water and thing, you know.
You might have the
Trying to find somebody on the line, but they're not answering the phone. I need to get some information. I hear about something up there. You know, I like to make sure that I get my information clear. I don't want to be here and saying something that proves to be wrong, yeah?
Everybody needs someone, no matter your reputation. Sometimes we all need a helping hand. No man is an island. I came to that conclusion. We all need someone to function. This is not time to separate. Time for us to elevate. Grenadian, it's time for you stand proud. We have to articulate. We are an independent state. Now to the whole world we singing loud. Happy anniversary.
Yeah, the attack continues on the poorer people in this country, huh?
Now won't you join with me and sing this melody? We celebrating 50.
Folks, remember to like and share the program. I don't know what happened last night at a particular time. I don't know if it's electricity when the internet went down or so. I just saw whoops and a set of numbers just drop. I don't know what happened. Let's hope that the YouTube remains stable tonight. Let me make a check and see who is on the Facebook.
We have some national hero, Aline Francis and Kirani James. I was there to bear witness when Miss Hazel and Regis.
I assume that you all are hearing me okay. I'm hearing me okay in the studio, but that doesn't always mean that you all are hearing me okay out there.
Jennifer Houston.
So I'm making sure that you all are hearing me okay before I go into what I have to go into, huh?
The country up to now we can't stop call his name. Now you see in Calypso, we have Black Wizard and Ajamo. some politicians like Kit Mitchell and Judge Prison. We have to make sure their name live on.
Dr. Julie Dubois, good night to you. Sunny Isle, McLean Mitchell, Landon Jane. Let me see who else is there. Mags Courtney, Anna Lewis, Bigger Ford. Good night, my bro. Enid Dakota. Let me see Norman Noel, Veronica Frederick. I see Antonito there. Yeah, let me take this call. Let me try the phone line out and think, man. Hello, good night. Hi, good night.
Hello.
Hi, good night, caller. You're live. Hello. Caller, you're live. Okay, yeah, Dave hung up. Yes, just remember when you call, speak to us on the phone line. The phone lines are working properly, so you can speak to us directly on the phone line. Last night, because I switched from left to right where the WhatsApp machine is, I missed some calls, all the calls on the WhatsApp last night. So the WhatsApp is working. You all can call. WhatsApp is working. All right. Yes. And the phone lines are open. You can call 440-7377. That's 440-7377. Yes, you can call. The WhatsApp is working. And the straight line is working as well. The overseas line is working, 347-329-3101.
Thank God Uncle Gary was brave.
We had quite a wonderful discussion with our sister, the Honorable Kate Skeeter Lewis Peters, last night.
He fought to preserve.
I had to talk about two issues in St. Andrew in a very short while.
Made the whole sky turn red with very little bloodshed. That is when we turn a brand new page. Equal rights was what we want. That was very important for we to uplift our standard. Black people was not relevant. We could not even walk in pant. Now that part of we history revamp. Happy anniversary to my little country.
Right, I get a lot of message there sung in crisp and clear. And Alban and Claude, we sung in crisp and clear.
Celebrating 50. Let us live in unity.
Still have one or two bits of tweaking to do, but I think we're there.
Even the blind could see. This year is history, our golden jubilee.
So let me just start here. Because I was trying to get some more information in relation to something, so I may have to expound on that particular one tomorrow night, because I'm trying to get information on it now and I'm not getting information on that one. But I was reliably informed of a situation with some farmers in the St. Andrew area. Now, over the years, these particular farmers, they had an arrangement with the government of Grenada where they were provided with water. Through the normal system, they were provided with water for the farms and so in that particular area. And this is not for the last 5 years or the last 10 years. From what I'm picking up, it has been going on for quite a while now that these farmers were assisted. Yet they're providing food for the nation. And if the nation can help them, be it through the provision of fertilizer, although I do agree with these unorganic fertilizers and those kind of things, I don't agree with using those. But even if it is through the provision of fertilizer to the farmers, of planting material to the farmers, of assistance through technical assistance to the farmers, like in giving them information, soil testing, and saying, this is the best soil to plant that particular crop, and you should switch crops and different things, the technical advice that comes from the ministry, whether it is to plow the field for a farmer. So whichever area it is that farmers can receive assistance. Well, everybody else hearing proper, but you're not hearing proper, so your device. Yeah. So whether it is a situation where the farmers themselves, whether the farmers need whichever type of assistance and government is providing it. So in this particular instance, that group of farmers in St. Andrew, they were being assisted with water. Yeah? It is not an easy thing, especially when you're speaking about farms, the volume of water that has to be used. especially around this time of year. So these farmers were being assisted with that. And they received notification that they're going to be cut off, that no longer will government be supporting them in that way. So the burden now is being placed on the farmers. It's being placed on them, especially at a point in time that you're already within the dry season. So it's not a time that without that sort of assistance, they'll be able to produce a lot. And they have been informed that the water is going to be removed from them, that they will no longer be able to receive that assistance from the government of Grenada. Now, I do know that they got in contact with a good friend of mine up there in St. Andrew. And that good friend of mine was going to meet with the farmers because they were directly involved in obtaining that assistance to the farmers many years ago. Right? I didn't get permission to call names, so I can't call him. But they did get the assistance for these farmers many years ago. Those farmers were to meet with that individual today. All of a sudden, Sister Glo and Sister Del make sure that they come in front and they try and meet with the farmers and them, because imagine, I'm trying to give the impression now that, oh, they don't know what's going on. They very well know what's going on. Don't let them give out farmers, don't let them give all that impression that they don't know what's going on. They very well know what's going on. Yeah? These things are not happening just like that. Because you have another situation. They can't come to try to give the impression that the government of Grenada isn't directly doing this. That's not NOWASA acting on NOWASA own. NOWASA is doing that because the government of Grenada has told them to do that. Remember, there's also the situation up there in Sobeys at the housing project, as we call it, Chinese Hill, where there are residents there. I'm not sure if the meeting is today. I think it's tonight or tomorrow that they're having that meeting up there in Chinese Hill, where the residents have been told that they are going to have to pay NOWASA more. And they are going to have to pay NOWASA more due to being connected to the sewage line. Now, we haven't heard that they went down in the more well-to-do areas in Grenada, for instance. And I'm not saying that they should do it, but I'm saying I am pretty sure the people I'm about to mention would not be too perturbed if they are asked to pay a little more in relation to being connected to a sewage line. For instance, if that obtains to an area like Mount Edgemont, or if that obtains to an area like Wester Hall Point, or one of the other areas that are considered well-to-do. So I am pretty sure that the people in those areas may not have a problem with that. But why is it that they're going after the people that they know for a fact are already struggling to pay what they have to pay? And then, remember, we got the call. I haven't been to St. Andrew yet. I was supposed to be in St. Andrew actually the following day. We spoke about that last week, Wednesday. Remember, I did get the call Wednesday night. I was invited to St. Andrew. I actually didn't say much, but I had to go to St. Andrew last week, Thursday. I was unable to make it, and I will try to get to St. Andrew before the end of this week. But the situation at the Chinese housing project, where you have the safety rails, have been eroded, and there seems to be no intent on fixing or trying to get them in. And you have children living there who could fall over. And you know, once they fall over, they what's going on. We hope and pray that it does not happen. And we should not have to wait until something like that happens before corrective measures are taken. And to try and say, well, okay, government put holiday, and they didn't know there is a response. So you're going to make a child end up in a situation, a really bad situation, or another person end up in a really bad situation before you look to address a problem that people have been telling you, look, there is this problem, it needs to be fixed. But again, it's the poorer people that are living there. So they don't care about them. They don't care about that. Yeah? It's like, leave them there. We didn't put them there, so leave them there. And now you're going to the same people and saying, you have to pay more to NOWASA. You're going to the farmers, the people who are providing the food. You're going to them and saying to them that, hey, you have to dip deeper in your pocket. You have to find additional. You didn't even say that, okay, we're going to go into a public-private partnership. And they like to use that. PPP, public-private partnership. Go into a public-private partnership with the farmers. Say, okay, you'll have to pay something, but you will pay 50%, we'll pay 50%. Or you will pay 30%, we'll pay 70%. Because it's massa bull, massa cow. NOWASA is owned by the government of Grenada. It is owned by the people of Grenada. It's owned by government. So they can't say that NOWASA is acting on its own. Yes, it's a statutory body, but it falls again, and listen where it falls, under the Prime Minister's ministry. Because he is the minister with responsibility for public utilities, etc. So when it comes to what is taking place with these farmers, it falls under the Prime Minister's ministry. Yes, you may have other ministers involved, and Gloria and them could run up there and go and try to drag them and bring camera like if they come there to meet with the farmers and it was something pre-planned. They knew. They go put out the video, so I'm telling you all before they do it. They knew for a fact that the people were going to meet with the people from the New National Party. They knew for a fact, so they rush in front and try to, you understand? But I'm telling you exactly what's happening. So the farmers have to find that money to pay now. You have the people who are at the facility there, those people who are at the houses in Sobeys. Now they have to dip deeper in their pockets and find money. And it's not people that have a pile of money in the first instance, but it's people now that have to dip deeper in their pocket to find money to pay. And remember, this at a point in time that you have a government that is creating no employment opportunities. They are creating no employment opportunities. None. They talk about taking people off contracts, but we've been down that road. We've discussed that on this program. I don't think it's necessary to go deeply into it again right now. But these are the same people that spoke about contract work, and now that's what they're sharing left, right, center, upside, inside, outside, all over. That is what they're dealing with. And only for those who are already within the system. They are not bringing more out from outside into a system. So you have a lot of people that are looking for jobs. I meet people every day. I'm called by people every day who are looking for jobs. I have to remind some of them, no, listen, it's not the New National Party in office, you know. I'm going to see what I hear out there, because sometimes, because I'm the kind of person who's always reading and looking at different things and always hearing from different people, sometimes I hear about things and then I'll be able to tell someone, but it is difficult for a lot of people out here. Very difficult. So don't look at a reggae show or something and feel, well, oh, it's had a good amount of people, the Grenadian will have money. That's, quite frankly, it's nonsensical. Yeah? Because a lot of people is their friends and family overseas that went on Go to Fet and buy the ticket and send it for them. They say, we understand you're under some stress and so. They go and they order some stuff from Shein, they send it down for them, and they go and Go to Fet and they order some stuff and they send it for them. That is what has taken place. So you have the situation with the farmers. And I'm going to get some more info on it because, as I said, I'm just giving you the basic outline of what I've heard in relation to this. This is what I've heard. So I'm giving you the basic outline in relation to what is taking place with a certain group of farmers out there in St. Andrew. Yeah? And I'm not even going to say exactly which part of St. Andrew until I clarify everything. Because I don't want to go and say one place and it end up being the next place. I want to clarify everything. But this did happen, that the farmers were receiving water assistance from the government of Grenada, because of course they're providing a service that the people of Grenada need. You need it. You need that service. It has been done like that way for years. This government has decided no, slash that. You have the situation with the people in the Sobeys houses. They're being told now we're going to put a little something extra on your bill for being connected to the sewer line or whatever it is. Yeah? They ain't going in the areas with the more well-to-do people that may be able to afford such. They're going in the areas with the people who they know for a fact can't pay it and try to pressure them. But they have their reasons. They do the same thing at the Grenville market. What, you all think I didn't know what's going on at Grenville market? No, the original agreement said yes, they're going to pay utilities and so, but there was an arrangement where the different people with their booths and so on at the Grenville market, they would pay their rent and they would consider the electricity. That is what was taking place under the new National Party. So the market would pay one bill. That would encompass all the little booths and everything. This administration has come in and decided all man jacka to pay their own thing. Yes, so they sent out letters to them. I'm pretty sure I had a letter here somewhere. They've sent out letters to them and they've told them that they have to go and pay the thing for themselves. Yeah? Please be advised that so-and-so is currently an authorized vendor at the Grenville bus terminus. Please facilitate the transfer of ownership of electrical utility holder of the current vendor of on the bus terminal northern side on the compound for meter serial number at the Grenville bus terminus. All right, so they've given letters to the individuals there that they now are going to have to go and pay. Yeah? Again, look who you're going after. You're going after the vendors. You're not creating the enabling atmosphere that these vendors would be able to earn more. Instead, what you have done is that you decide you're pressuring those vendors even more. So you've not created the enabling environment. You have not said that these people, we don't think that the economy is at such a stage that these people are making a lot of money, but yet still, you are trying to pressure these people more and not trying to work along with them. If it was a situation that you're seeing significant movements in the economy and especially the Grenville economy was buoyant, and every time you go in Grenville, the streets ram-cram, you can barely pass and so on. Yeah? And when I say you could barely pass, with people that are shopping and going about and doing things. If it was like that, then that's one thing. But you have a situation where these people already catching the nenen. And you're piling more on top of that nenen that they're catching. So, you have this further to discussions held with the market manager regarding payment of electricity bills at the Grenville bus terminus. This letter serves to confirm that you are required to begin paying Grenlec from the 30th of April, from the end of this month, 2024. In your assignment of booth letter, you were informed that you were required to pay all monthly utility bills in addition to the monthly rental fee. Yes, that was the agreement. But understanding the nature of the economy and what is taking place, government, the NNP government tried to help, but the NDC government decided to pressure. So the Ministry of Infrastructure wishes to advise that in accordance with said letter, this responsibility will now be transferred to you. And remember, Ministry of Infrastructure, who is the Minister of Infrastructure? Mr. Deacon Amiss Mitchell, the present Prime Minister. He is the Minister of Infrastructure. So this is being done under the Prime Minister. This is not any other minister doing this. The Prime Minister himself is doing this. So all you in the market, they know who's doing it. The Ministry of Infrastructure wishes to advise that in accordance with the said letter, this responsibility will now be transferred to you. In this regard, you are required to make the necessary arrangements with the Grenada Electricity Services to have the bill transferred to your name. The Grenlec meter serial number for blah, 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 blah. Kindly be reminded that the government will no longer be responsible for payment of electricity consumed at that. Right? So I'm telling you, it is a problem. It is a problem. You cannot treat people in this way. So you're seeing whether it is the farmers up there in St. Andrew. I don't know why St. Andrew people are doing all this thing. So whether it is the farmers in St. Andrew, whether it is the people at the housing scheme, whether it is the people who are at the different booths and so on, whichever one it is, you all are doing these things to them, and it is unfair. It is unfair. No one is saying that the time will not eventually come when government will be able to transfer the responsibility for these things for the farmers or for the people who are in the Grenville market or the people who are in Sobeys. But what have they done to improve the economic situation, particularly not only in the country but in the St. Andrew area? What project have they done? What have they started within the Grenville area to bring economic life to the Grenville area? What have they done so significantly that they believe that they can now pass these burdens on to these different categories of people? Is that fair? Do you all think that that's okay? You go into town and you're passing in town, and while you're passing in town and you check with the market, you realize, hey, telele, at the St. George's market, you realize that they're saying that who gone and who come in, and they bring in this new one, and who was day before in charge, and they bring in, and then you start to hear all sort of talk about who bill book missing, so they ain't sure how much money was collected, and then they have no bill books to reconcile whatever cash is supposed to be there and is not there, and people might have their receipts and all sorts of telele that you're hearing taking place at the St. George market as well. Yeah, you're hearing problems. You have vendors complaining that the drains are not properly maintained around the market and so on, so that before you had some people that would lift the grills and they would clean the drains properly around the St. George market. Now you're having a situation where that is not being properly done. You have all these sort of things taking place. And yet still, you go and you're passing on the street, and one of the people who you usually pass, and you see them vending and so on, and they come and they tell you, they say, well, listen, I just come out. You just come out from where? Well, they locked me up yesterday for illegal vending. I had to pay $1,000 to come out to bail myself, because they seized my goods and I was detained. And then they tell me, go up the road there. And then when you go up the road, you can't get a sale up the road there, because there is not a structure to anything that they're doing. It's haphazard. It's not, they haven't put out a notice and told people this is going to be an authorized vending area, and that these people who are here are going to be relocated there, and therefore go up there and do what you have to do. No. It's just grab them, throw all this stuff in the van, arrest them. Illegal vending. Charge $1,000. And then you have to go to court. $1,000 to bail yourself. And then you have to go to court and so on. You have your goods seized and all these kind of things taking place. Why is it that only one category of people in this country are the ones that are going through that sort of thing? Why is it only one category of people that you hear all the pressure going on to? You don't hear them saying to the big business firms in Grenada, you don't hear them saying to them that we are putting in place this new measure that is going to affect your income, maybe in a negative way, but it's going to affect the country's income in a positive way. You don't hear them saying that. You don't hear them saying to the big conglomerates that are here in Grenada, you don't hear them going to them and saying that, well, government needs to raise an additional 2 million here, additional 3 million there, and therefore, due to that, we are going to impose A or we're going to impose B. You don't hear them doing that. Yeah? You don't hear them doing that. Instead, who did they put it on? Again, the vulnerable people in Grenada. And they say, oh, they hate to hear the word poor and vulnerable. I think we have a caller online. Hello, good night. Hello, good night.
No, not. Yeah, but I didn't call yet. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. All right, yes, 4407377, folks. Yeah, so you can call on the WhatsApp, you can call on the overseas, you can call on the local line. Right, yeah. So why is it one particular category of people in this country are the ones that going through that kind of thing? Why is it one group? Yeah? You hear the fishermen up in Grenville and Guave complaining. Some big telele up there again between them and association and all these kind of things taking place up there. Where's the minister? Because I could tell you, if that was taking place during the days of Mr. Alvin Dabrio, he definitely would have made sure that he tried to bring different sides together, have a conversation with them, and try to come to a final understanding. Yeah? Because he did it before, and you know that he would definitely do that again. We have a caller online. Hello, good night.
Hey, Sheldon, good night. How you do?
Hey, I'm good.
Boy, today I sit down inside me in my veranda. I see two men come in my yard. Two men come in me here, tape and tape line, telling me they from the Inland Revenue coming and measuring me house and all kind of thing today. They want money. They want to impose more tax on people. Let it come. Let it come. Measuring me all of us up here, our house, and land everything. They want to impose more tax. Measuring, man. Look, I just come out in Trinidad on some medical day. A whole set of money. Instead of they studying to fix the blasted hospital and do what they have to do, they started to pay it all $22 million for independence. Fix the hospital. Fix the place. Let people get to where I'm able to do, because they know when they're ready, they jump in the plane and go. But these people and them have no conscience for nobody. They have a piece of conscience. This Prime Minister had no conscience for nobody. Neither he cabinet ministers. They don't have a conscience. They are wicked people, and they will pay for it. Don't worry, man. I'm standing up here, and I'm making sure that they will never come back in power. I will see that. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you so very much. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. And 347-329-3101. That's, So, that's the revaluation. Yeah, I was just about to. That's the revaluation of properties. So that process continues. They started that, I think, since last year or when they started the revaluation process. So you will see them coming around to revalue and so on. What they have said is that it will not cause an increase in the property tax. Let's see if that is the case. They've said that the revaluation process, they're doing the revaluation of the properties, but they said that it would not, and I have them on tape saying it, that it will not result in an increase in what you've got to pay. They're not increasing those taxes. And as I've told you all as well, what they are in fact doing is that they are broadening the tax base instead of raising the tax. So by broadening the tax base, they're trying to bring more people in to pay the taxes. So if you have 10 people paying $20, it's not the same as if you have 100 people paying $20. Yeah, you're going to have much more money if you have 100 people paying $20 instead of if you have 10 people paying $20. Because if 10 people are paying $20 and you go to those 10 people because you need to make more money and you say to them, hey, we need each of you to pay 50 instead, each of them going to bawl. They're going to say, well, no, you're trying to kill us. So when they start speaking about regularization of where people are living, that they're going to go into River Road and they're going to give people the property that they're living on. They're going to, well, let me not use the word give, because from what I'm picking up, they're going to sell you. Yeah, you got to go in the bank and find your money and pay, right? And I ain't think they're going to be collecting piece, because they find they ain't going to get the money that way. So they're going to measure up, not in the case of this person who owns their property and so on, but like people who are squatting in certain areas, they are going to measure up. They're going to say, okay, this piece is yours. We're measuring out this piece as yours, but you have to pay for it. This is the valuation on it. This is how much you're going to have to pay the government of Grenada for it. They ain't just handing you. Because if they could reach in Lacolum, and Lacolum are still in here, if all you find the individuals I was telling all that stuff before election, So they're going to value it and they're going to say, this is how much you have to pay. And in the same way, like with the houses, they're going to come to you all and they're going to say, you have to pay for it and you have to pay for it one go. We ain't collecting no piece payment. Yeah? Because they're not collecting any piece payment for the houses. They say one payment, just one lick. Go in the bank or the credit union or wherever and see if you could get the money and come and pay. Right? Which is why many people, and I think it's about time that we hear something more in relation to those houses, that we hear whether or not people have been able to secure the loans, because the last figures we heard were abysmally low. Yeah, I think it was only 30 people or so out of the 200 and something for, that's just in Corinth. I don't know about the other areas. But how many of the people have been able to secure the funding to be able to move into their houses? How many have moved into the houses? Those of you living up current area, you see anybody inside them? All you seeing light in the night inside some of them places. All you realize you're seeing vehicle park outside now, or people coming out, going to work and school on a daily basis? Or is it still a situation where it is a wicked thing to leave the houses locked up there? Is it still a wicked thing, to leave the houses up there locked up? Because we know that was what the Prime Minister was saying. We weren't playing that clip tonight. Yeah, we played that clip already. What the Prime Minister was saying is a wicked thing. Yeah? A wicked thing to keep the houses locked up. We want to hear what is the latest with that. But we realize that the chairman of the Housing Authority of Grenada, we realize he in hiding mode right now. Like he get an invisibility cloak. And like the invisibility cloak also take away voice, because we realize he was very busy in the not too distant past. He was very busy. He was there about, these types of houses, we don't think that's the type of houses, and so for that kind of people, or those category of people, looking down on people that too good for these set of people that they name down there. That is what people like, well, I don't know, maybe my friends and people along my ilk, that is more for them, so, but that is not for this set of people. But all of a sudden we realize the chairman of the Housing Authority has disappeared. The invisibility cloak has gotten him. So he's no longer available to come before the media and speak. So they come and they do a little thing and they feel we go hush up in relation to the houses. Stay there and feel so. So all you go and have an opening ceremony in a place that only open, and a handing over ceremony at a place that already handing over, a ribbon cutting at a place that ribbon already cut, and a key handing over ceremony for a place where the keys have already been handed over. Yeah? And we are supposed to stay silent on that and say nothing in it. Because all you went and all you do that now, and we supposed to be stupid, so we ain't supposed to say anything about that again. We're supposed to remain silent in relation to that particular issue in it. Yeah, they all go stay with that. 440-7377. And I think we've got a caller on the line. Hello, good night.
Hello, good night, brother.
Hi, good night. You're live. Go right ahead.
Just before the election, I was hoping that I would have been the first pilot in P.T. Matnik. You know, these days I realize helicopters not even passing over P.T. Matnik again.
Oh, helicopters is not they're not passing there?
At all. And as soon as people promised to bring helicopter for us, up to now, helicopter don't pass yet.
Oh, goodness.
People stop using this route, boy.
Well, there may be several reasons for that. I don't want to speculate, but there can be several reasons for something like that.
Anyway, have a blessed night and continue good work.
All right. Thank you so very much.
God bless you, man.
And bless you as well. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. And 347-329-3101. I'm still trying to reach my good friend, and I'm not getting them. Yeah? I'm not getting them. Right? But I'm telling you all, you have that situation where government is trying to widen the tax base. So many of you who are already struggling to make ends meet, you're the ones that they're coming after. Because they find if you have $100, they want to take 30 out of it. They're going to leave you with 70 that you still go pay taxes on indirectly through VAT and so on. But they come in for $30 directly out of the 100 that you have. Because they're going to try. And remember, after, and let me say this to the people who squat in and you think that they're doing you this wonderful favor and so on. Number one, you're going to have to pay for it. And secondly, you're going to have to pay for it. In other words, you're going to have to pay for it to own it. And after you pay for it to own it, you're going to still have to pay your property tax on, because remember, these people aren't paying property tax right now. The people in some of the housing schemes, they're not paying property tax right now, so they're trying to bring all of these people into it. Because if you can get a 8,000 or 9,000 households to start paying property tax, don't care about whether they could pay or they don't pay. You're going and force them to pay. And if they don't pay, the same property you give them is the same property they're coming to take. The same property that they give, well, not give you, but they sold you don't pay the taxes on it and feel they ain't coming to try and take it. They come in and try and take it. Yeah? So don't get the thing twisted. Don't get the thing tied up. They are not being, they are not doing anything because out of a love for people. There's economic consequences to what they are planning and what they are trying. Yeah? You think it was just by chance that they went and get all of the hairdressers and barbers and so on. And we will be doing a program on that very soon. I am still gathering information in relation to it. There are things taking place with that. But the vast majority of barbers and hairdressers and nail techs and other people under the allied healthcare will tell you they still don't understand what the government is trying to do. They don't understand the mechanism. There is still an issue when it comes to security through the insurance part of it. Because they're saying get a type of insurance that is going to cover you when you're cutting people hair and when you're doing your hairdressing and so on. But that type of insurance, no insurance company in Grenada offers it. Yet they're saying they're going to certify you when you have that type of insurance. And then they keep setting deadlines. And when we speak about it, they push the deadline back. So they set a deadline, you talk about it, they push the deadline back. They set a next deadline, you talk about it, they push it back. So now I think they're conducting some sort of training. They say they're doing some sort of training that they are going to, all the people under the allied healthcare, they are going to, all those people, they are going to go ahead and register them after that training and so on. But they can't register them if they don't have the insurance. And the insurance, so what do people have to do? Try and contact a company in Trinidad to get that type of insurance here? Because apparently some of the insurance companies in Grenada, they're running away from that type of insurance. They don't want to have to deal with it. So I don't know if at this point in time, maybe last week, maybe today, they find an insurance company that is willing to now engage and say, well, okay, well, we have a ready market here. We're going to get all the hairdressers and all the barbers and everybody to take out insurance with us and pay on a monthly basis or a yearly basis or however they're going to do it. But again, you're doing things without looking at the reality of what is going on out there. You're moving vendors, and again, nobody's saying that vendors don't have to move. But you're moving them, you're terrorizing them without providing an alternative. You're doing nothing in the economy to cause money to flow into the hands of these vendors when you move them. And you put them in another location, or even where they are right now so that they can make enough money, okay, they're okay for a month or two, that kind of thing. Now, some of them have arrest record. They never get, police never put a hand on them before. Now, some of them have an arrest record. And I'm not blaming the police officers, because that is, again, the Ministry of Infrastructure is the ministry that is directing that along with the Royal Grenada Police Force. And that is coming out of a directive from Cabinet. Who is the head of Cabinet? Who is the head of the Ministry of Infrastructure? The sitting Prime Minister. The same people who are going around and breaking place and all this thing and moving people thing, and then next thing you hear, there's nothing in the court in relation to it. There's nothing there. And who you think doing it again? It's the Prime Minister's ministry is in charge of that now statutory body, but a statutory body is still a government agency. And who is the line minister in charge of that? The Prime Minister again. And then some people go meet you and say the Prime Minister like people. And that's the kind of thing that's taking place. My goodness. 440-7377 347-329-3101. Yeah. Man, my goodness. And let's go to the phone line. Hello, good evening.
Hey, Sheldon.
Hi, good evening. How are you doing?
Yeah, good man.
All
Listen,
right.
I called about that situation and go. I think that somebody need to step in and get that straight now, because I see one of the fishermen saying that he go out a day and when he come back they say he fish stale and men going out for 3 days and they coming back in and getting the fish sale. So something wrong with our process, something kind of segregational like part. I don't know, but something need to be done, because if you put gas in your boat and stuff and you go out and fish, then you come back, you're fighting to get the fish organized. I mean, the facilities up there is really nice and stuff now, but the system is not working. Whoever representing up there need to go there and see what they could get organized and get that done, because it's not fair. Anyhow, that's about it. I had to say, just watch yourself with the haters. I saw something today that it kind of appalling to me on a blog of a gentleman. I don't know if you look into it, but he used your graphics and things for last night. So I know he recently posted. But I find it to be tasteless. A man that's saying that how he millions and millions of views and all of that is a tasteless, poor kind of thing to me. Seriously. So I hope he listening that he can understand it's tasteless. Understand, and trying to stir up confusion in certain things. If you have a look at it, you will see what exactly you're talking about.
Okay, thank you so very much, my friend.
Have a good night, my brother. And don't forget, don't worry with them, man.
All right, thank you. In case the caller doesn't recognize, I don't bother them. I'm thankful because each time we do a program here and one of those numbskulls goes ahead and they speak about our program, we get more listeners. We get more viewers. And I would challenge anybody. They could take a look at my program right now on YouTube. They could check my numbers and they could go and they could check their numbers. And at the end of the program, by tomorrow morning, you could check my views on Facebook and they could check their views. I don't have to get into no viewership argument. All I want to get into is a quality argument. Yeah? Whether or not what I'm saying is truthful. Yeah, we have a caller online. Good evening.
Good night, Sheldon.
Hi, good night.
What question? And did it say that you haven't got to pay no college fee?
Yes, they said that has been removed.
Yes, but no, they saying my daughter saying she has to pay $150 and they give them a deadline to pay. So I want to know what really going on with this Prime Minister and whoever. I want to know what's going on with them. I tell her to go and tell them to ask the Prime Minister.
But what have they said? Oh wait, let me pull down on my end. What have they said the 150 is for? Have they clarified?
They had to sustain themselves.
But there was a whole discussion where the Minister of Education was saying that they're giving subvention to TAMCC and they've covered all of that.
That's what I know. They said that. That's what I know.
So your daughter is presently attending the TAMCC and they're telling her that she has to pay still. And that's just a one-off in this instance, so that is something that you're not even sure.
They have to continue.
Oh my goodness.
I sick of them.
Oh my goodness. All right, my dear. I'll follow up on that one though. I'll try to follow up what that's about. Okay.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you so very much.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. 440-737. Let me just clear the line. 440-7377. Yeah, try to left and right. Yeah. Usually what I would do on my right, I do it on my left. And what I do on my left, I have to do on my right. So excuse me while I get used to how we're operating inside here right now. Right? I know something was wrong. And why is that light off? Yeah, that light is supposed to be on. Anyhow, it's okay. 440-7377 and 347-329-3101. It is now 4 minutes to the hour of 9 o'clock on the Spice Isle of Grenada. Yeah, why is it that only one particular grouping, and now you heard, remember, for that last caller, we've heard that when it comes to TAMCC, students are not supposed to be paying any fees, or the government is covering all of that. So why is TAMCC asking the students for money now? Yeah, is it an exam fee, something that wasn't catered for under the subvention that has been given to TAMCC now to cover all of the students? Is it something that was not catered for under that the TAMCC has to ask for that 150 from the students for? And if that is the case, then the government needs to come out and say that. They need to come out and inform the parents, because the parents have already said, well, yeah, government give us, you're going to TAMCC, you don't have to find no money. Right. So they've gotten into that now. So if you're doing that, what is the situation with the students right now who are being asked to pay that? Why are they being asked to do that? Is it a lab fee that was not catered for under the subvention? If it wasn't catered for under the subvention, then why? Is it a fee for some other area that was not catered for under the subvention that's been given? And if so, why? There needs to be some sort of clarity given in relation to that, because other than that, we would be left with no other recourse but to say that the government lie. They lie, and they lie. We'll be left with no recourse but to say that. So they need to say to the Grenadian people exactly what is what and why. All right? 440-7377. Yeah, you see, as I tell you all, I had to try and do some things on the left and some things on the right. 440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get onto the inside of tonight's program. Yeah? That's the number for you to call and get onto the inside of tonight's program. And also, folks, and let me see, let me try and take this call. Hello, good night.
Sheldon, good night. How are you?
Hey, I'm quite fine.
A long time I call you.
Yes, sir.
Listen me. I want to I hear you talking about the complaints of people. Do you feel sorry for them?
Yes, I do.
You could just give me an explanation why?
Because I wasn't grown up the way to be joyful over people's pain.
I know.
My mother was hold on. My mother was the person that anybody in the village could have come and get some food. That guys came out of prison, you're looking for slippers, and I might have my slippers there, and my slippers disappear because my mother gave it to somebody that just come out of jail and they was barefoot. Or somebody have some sort of issue and they would come to her and so on. My father was the same type of person. My grandmother in Springs, same type of person. So I have grown up, and part of my DNA is that I do feel empathy and sympathy towards people. Regardless of what, some of them, I have had situations that people do me some nasty things. And when the time comes to help them, I put whatever it was aside and I do what I have to do to help them.
Yeah, I know. But let me tell you, not that I really want to speak about that.
No, but go ahead.
The people and them, they are crying now. The people and them work for that, Shelly. The people and them had their jobs. They had everything good their way. The people and them vote it out. So why you crying now? I ain't sorry for them, man. I ain't sorry for them.
Well,
Let
I
me
am.
take what they get. That's what they work for.
I am, because you see, the thing is that we're lumping everybody into a category that we should not. Let's just be straight here and realistic here. We cannot lump all of the people who are going through this into a category and say we don't care. And it's good for all of them. We cannot do that.
You understand?
We are all humans, and we are all humans, and I'm sure in your life that you have made mistakes. They have made a mistake. And instead of just continually ponging them on the mistake, what we need to do is to tell them how to correct the mistake that they have made. Instead of just continually telling them, well, it's good for all you make a mistake, it's good for all you make a mistake. Instead of continually telling them that, we need to start telling them, no, yes, we understand you have made a mistake. We empathize with you that you have made a mistake. But there is salvation at the end. That is what Christians believe in, isn't it? You believe in salvation. Salvation is there. And the day will come when the roll will be called of yonder and your name better be on it.
Right, be there. Right.
So that you can enter those gates.
Yeah, I know.
So the day will come.
But you're right, I agree
Yeah, so we
with
have
all
to,
that, but that's
so we
not
can't
fair.
just continue telling people because we can't lump all the vendors into it and say all of them vote. Yes, there are some,
I know.
but we can't lump everybody.
I agree with what you are saying there. I agree.
Mhm.
But I personally didn't make this great mistake like that. But in any case, let me get on to what I have to say. I just hear somebody talking, a lady talking about she daughter tell her that she had to pay $150 in Tam CC.
Yeah.
All right, listen to me. Last week, I had my daughter tell me something. I want to ask you, what is CVQ? You know anything about that?
The CVQ is the Caribbean Vocational Qualification. It is the exam that some of the students, according to the course that they're doing, they have to write. And that qualification will enable them to work in any Caribbean island. Yes, so it is a Caribbean Vocational Qualification, CVQ. Yes, so you
But
have
then
the...
you have to pay a set of money too, you know.
Well, government say they should explain that if the exam is exempt from that.
$380
Well,
to pay for that last week. And I sure probably I still have to pay it.
my goodness.
So I'm just telling you because I have to say that. In any case, let me go back to the first point.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for what I say.
No,
I mean,
I'm not
I
saying
understand.
you
I
have
just
your
want
view.
to be a little hard, but
You have your view and I have my view. Nothing is
I
wrong
know
with you
things are-
expressing
I
your
know
view.
things
I
are.
just have my view.
I agree. But I don't mean anything really.
Okay.
But I just wanted to show them that you make a mistake and you have to adjust yourself coming next time.
Yes, my brother.
Yes, so you take care. Have a nice evening.
All right, thank you.
And have a nice trip home after the program.
Okay, thank you so much.
Goodbye.
All right, bro. No, I'm not saying that the caller is wrong. I'm saying they have their view. I have my view. Yeah, this is just our views differ, and nothing is wrong with that. If somebody don't feel sorry for them, I can't tell them feel sorry for them. I have my view. That's my view. All right. 440-7377 and 347-329-3101. Those are the numbers for you to call and get onto the inside. Because just now I had to go on to another issue, you know. Yeah, I had to go on to another issue just now. But I just thought that the first one, let's deal with that particular one. But I have to go on to another issue in a little while. Yeah? In a little while. Oh my, I have everything mixed up here. Don't worry, I gotta sort it out somehow. Yeah? Because I wanna play some stuff, you know. Yeah, you know, I think it's time for us to play some stuff tonight. Yeah, I wanna play some stuff. Let me make sure I have that. Yeah, I think we go play and then we go discuss. Nice. So we're gonna play and we're going to discuss. So let me see which is the first one. Wait now, where the audio for that is there? Right, I think there's the audio for that day. Nice. Let's play and then we'll display.
Commission and so forth that you did mention. What's kind of costing maybe this will be, you know, costing the Grenada, I would say. What kind of costing would that be? How much is this particular project of cost, you know, cost to establish this High Commission?
Okay, so I'm not in a position to give you dollars and cents figures because first of all, you'll have to look at buildings, you'll have to look at personnel, you'll have to look at other costs associated with maintaining a diplomatic mission. But we have to be very careful when we talk about the cost of maintaining a diplomatic mission. There are some things that you have to look beyond the monetary cost and look at the potential benefits of them. So sometimes we have to see some things as an investment. We have the question of trying to get visa restrictions that Canada imposed on Grenadians a few years ago, of trying to get that reversed. Having a mission there will go a long way towards helping our lobbying efforts. We have the question of trade. We have the question of providing consular services to our citizens. We have the question, pardon me, of promoting tourism, investment opportunities, and so on. And when you're in the capital, when you're at the nerve center, then it puts you in a much more strategic position to achieve these goals. So we have to be conscious of the cost and use every measure possible to minimize. That is why we're talking about linking up with St. Lucia and or other OECS countries to share premises to reduce costs. But if we cannot take what the old people would call a penny halfpenny approach towards our diplomatic missions and towards our diplomatic footprint in the rest of the world.
So the minister was on GBN this morning, the To The Point program, as you can see there, and he was speaking about the issue of the establishment of the consular mission out there in Canada. Yes, of course, we would want our friends and relatives out there, even people who are not our friends or relatives, but they are Grenadians and so on out there, and other people that would like to do business and so with Grenada. We would like them to have the opportunity to be able to do so quickly and efficiently and so on. So yes, right. So you're opening it there, but you're telling me that you don't know the cost. So you all are going in. Remember, the person that's speaking there is the minister, That is the minister with the responsibility in that particular area. Let's take this call and we'll get back to that. We have a caller online. Hello?
Hi, Sheldon.
Hi. Yes,
They
go.
only have to pay $150 if they are retaking a course attempt. That's the $150 is for. At present, there are no administration fee of $150. All they need to pay is $150 if they're repeating a course.
So that's if you were not successful in a course and you need to repeat it, then you pay the
You have to
$150.
pay $150 to repeat the course.
Yeah, and that's why I'm asking, what is it for? So thank you for clarifying for us.
Yes, if you have to repeat a course, you pay $150. There used to be an administration fee of $150. That fee is on hold at the moment. So you don't have to pay that administration fee anymore.
Thank you so very much for your clarity on this particular issue, my dear.
You're welcome.
All right.
Bye.
So the caller is saying that the 150 is in case a student has to rewrite a course. They've done a course, they failed it, and they have to redo that particular module or whatever it is. They would have to pay a 150. All right. So we need to get clarity on whatever else. We need to get clarity on it because we want to make sure that the government is aligned, right? We need to get clarity. But back to Minister Andel. So we're saying that you've already selected who the High Commissioner is going to be. You're waiting on Canada to accept that particular individual as your High Commissioner. Your intent is to open a High Commission. You said that there's a need for it, you're going to open it. So you saw the need, you select the person, but you don't know the cost. You don't even have a ball figure park. I know at a point in 5 that the NDC government said that in relation to reorganizing the diplomatic organization, reorganizing the diplomatic corps, bringing people home and who they fire and all the people they fire to bring them home and to send new people out, they had budgeted $2.5 million in relation to that. So this leads me to believe that when it comes to this budget cycle, even though they grab the chairman of their party now and they're sending the chairperson of their party out there as a representative, that these individuals did not think first, hey, how much is this going to cost? And how much is it going to cost not just in the setup phase, but what is the cost it's going to impose on the Grenadian people over an extended period of time? So each year, how much is Grenada going to spend? Is your High Commissioner going with other people? Is he married? Is he going with his wife? Does he have young children? Is he going with his children under the age of 18? Is he going with them? What other costs are going to be incurred by the state of Grenada in relation to setting up that entity? And that question has to be asked. Yeah, what are the costs? And you're asking the costs and the minister. And let me take it from the top there again, because I want you all to notice something. When the minister is asked that particular question, just notice something. Let me just get it to the start there. Nice. And let me just open out the audio. Nice.
The establishment of this new High Commission and so forth that you did mention, what's going to cost them maybe if this will be, cost?
So immediately that the costing come, the minister grab his phone and he start to fiddle.
Costing the Grenada, I would say. What kind of costing would that be? How much is
start to dig years?
This particular project of cost, cost.
Bend down your head, dig your phone again.
Establish this High Commission.
Okay, so I'm not in a position to give you dollars and cents figures because first of all, you'll have to look at buildings, you'll have to look at
You will have to. So they haven't done that yet. So you will have to. You've announced that you're going to, but you haven't looked at that yet. And remember, they said since the beginning that they're organizing and they're changing things. So is this a recent decision or so on? I mean, trying to understand here.
Personnel, you'll have to look at other costs associated with maintaining a diplomatic mission.
Because remember, it's not just the ambassador. You're going to have a driver, and you may have to have other staff for the mission itself, and plus the private. You have to have different people that work along with the High Commissioner. If you're having a High Commissioner or an ambassador or whatever it is, you have to have certain personnel that are going to work along with them. What are the salaries that are going to be paid to these people? When it comes to housing for the minister, when it comes to the location of the High Commission itself, all of these things incur a cost, and you have to find out what type of cost are we speaking about here? Yeah, what type of cost are we speaking about here when it comes to Grenada having a high commission? And nobody is saying don't have the high commission, you know, because I know people like Patricia and Matthew, Ian, Cathy Niece, all of you all that up there in Canada, and so I know all of you. Yeah, if it makes it easier for you all, I'm happy. If it makes things easier for you all, I am happy. But remember, we live in the year 2024 when artificial intelligence and technology is taking over a lot of the things that we had physical people to do. A lot of where we used to have physical offices, we no longer have physical offices, but they operate within the virtual space. That started heavily. It started long before COVID, but COVID proved that a lot of this stuff could be done. So that instead of having to come from whichever part of Canada you are to try to get to the embassy to get your passport done, that the online system can be set up that you could apply for your passport online. You can make your payment online using the online portal and so on. Yeah, that you get your information sent in and that the passport can be sent to you via secure mail or whatever it is. Do you really need to have a high commission to have that done? Yeah, you can have virtual meetings with people and so on in relation to different things. You don't necessarily have to have a physical compound. In fact, I think the government of Grenada is going in the wrong direction when it's thinking of how to operate a high commission. You're looking at what staff? Listen, 10 years ago, you call a business place in Grenada, a young lady and sometimes a young man would answer the phone. Hello, good evening, so-and-so. How may I direct your call? These days, you call some of even the smaller businesses. You hear a digital voice answer, a voice that you know. Please, to reach so-and-so, call dial 1. To reach this person, press 0. To press that, reach 4. And this sort of thing. That category of worker, that individual who used to exist, the human being that used to be sitting there at a desk when you enter the place and they have this big phone system in front of them that they can send calls to different people in the business and so on, and they can take messages, no longer exists in many instances. And in all category of businesses, they are starting to shrink down and allow technology to do the work. But here in Grenada, put an embassy, full it of people. Not look at the cost-cutting ways of which technology would be able to help you achieve the very same thing in a cheaper, more cost-effective way. But no, they have lap and cut money to spend, so they're spending it. Yeah, they have lap and cut money to spend, so they're spending it. Right? Let me hear what else the Honorable Minister had to say. Yeah, calling him the Honorable Minister. Is the Honorable Minister? Is the man portfolio? Is the Honorable Minister? Let's hear
there's
what
been
more.
some talk floating around.
Yeah, let me see about the talk that floating around. What the host? What do you just call the host again? I forget the host name. You know. What do does call the host again? The host does ask people some kind of question too when you're ready. Let me see. Yeah.
Some talk floating around. The name is Sylvester Corliss. It's been floating around as a new High Commissioner. Is that correct? Or if so, why him?
Well, since you must have one, why not him? Okay.
Agreeable, so.
Yes, yeah. And in the appointment of diplomatic representatives, you generally go either the career route,
yes,
where you get someone from within the foreign service, who has background and experience in diplomacy and protocol etiquette and things like that, so negotiating skills, or you go the political route.
So you kind of admitting that they go the political route, because let's just pull it back so you can hear. Let me hear.
As a new High Commissioner, is that correct? Or if so, why him?
Well, since you must have one, why not him? Okay.
Agreeable, so.
Yes, yeah. And in the appointment of diplomatic representatives, you generally go either the career route,
yes,
where you get someone from within the foreign service, who has background and experience in diplomacy and protocol etiquette and things like that, so negotiating skills, or you go the political route. And every country has a mix of the career diplomat and the political appointees.
Yeah.
We have taken the position in this government to promote as much as possible a professional foreign service. We have had several training opportunities. We have had people express their interest in taking up diplomatic positions, and a number of our appointees, whether they be ambassadors or people serving as consulars or first or third.
Mr. Andal, don't tell me you choke again. We know when you're lying, you're just choking. So I hope that is not what's going on. We know when you're lying or you're under pressure, you just start to choke. Don't tell me it's choke, Mr. Andal, choke again. Remember with the Samoa agree, the choke. Don't tell me choke, the man choke there again,
First or third secretaries?
Yeah, sure. Take that drip of water there.
Yeah. A number of them have come from those expressions of interest. And in the mix, we have had a couple of political appointees. But our thrust is to form a cadre of professionals, of career diplomats, so that down the road we get to a stage where even if the administration changes, because you're dealing with professionals, then
you maybe need to grab that drink of water again. I understand how it feels sometimes.
Yeah, I understand how it does feel when you're trying to sell BS to people. Yeah, I understand how it feels sometimes. I forget my water tonight, boy, but let me start to choke too. Anyhow, yeah, let's continue.
Folks, it's Classic Radio GBTV. It's to the point with me this morning. We have Minister, of course, was handled with us this morning. Yes, continue on the point you were making. Now, if we would like to, let me just say this again, because I asked.
I like that. The host is actually giving him time to recover by talking. That host know what he's doing. He realizes his guest is having an episode, and he is very skillfully giving the guest time to compose himself there. So he drink his water and thing. So he's repeating the question. The time he takes to repeat the question and ask and go a little more in detail in the question, he's giving his guest time to catch himself, because he realizes he gets choked again. Right.
Question of Mr. Callers, because on coming into office, the NDC said that when it comes to this type of appointments, it would be based on building new and professional diplomats, if you can remember that.
Yeah.
And and they are, of course, if that's the case, why hire persons like Mr. Corliss, as a past retirement age, I would say, and who was the chairman of your party? This is especially when it comes to the state, the appointment would not be based on a political allegiance, if we would say that. If we could answer to that.
Well, I think I just made the point.
You did make the point
minute ago, right?
Yeah.
That our goal is the establishment of professional foreign service.
So you take somebody who has never been involved in diplomacy, as far as I know before. They were involved in the media, they were involved in business and so on. And you have taken that individual and you've made that individual part of the diplomatic service. And you say establishing a professional diplomatic service. Well, okay, all right, okay.
Right, staffed with career diplomats and foreign service officers. But you will always find in the mix to put it bluntly, political appointees. Every country in the world does it. Every country without exception. But what we do not want is to have a diplomatic service dominated by political appointees. So that is why...
Wait, they don't want a diplomatic service dominated by political appointees? They don't want one? Okay, well, let me just pull up the artwork for tonight. Let me just pull up that artwork. Let me take that call. Maybe somebody has something to say. Let me give them the opportunity to say what they have to say before I go back on that. Hello, good night. Hello. Hi, good night. Caller, pay attention to the phone line, please. Go right ahead. Hello. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that person was not paying attention to the phone line. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So let me just pull up the artwork. Right. So let's just get something clear here, right? The various people that we are seeing there, Mr. Kajana Romain, he happens to be the public relations officer of the National Democratic Congress. He holds a diplomatic position on behalf of Grenada. You're seeing Mr. Elwin McQuilquin, the Black Wizard. He has been an executive member of the National Democratic Congress, another political appointee. He holds a diplomatic position, I believe, in Trinidad. To the front of him, you're seeing Mr. Glenn Noel in his NDC t-shirt. He has held the position of General Secretary and I believe at one point in time, Chairman of the National Democratic Congress, right? Another political appointee. The light-skinned lady next to him, that is Miss Andrea St. Bernard. She, is the treasurer, the present treasurer of the NDC, in the same way that Mr. Kijana is the present PRO of the NDC. Both of them hold diplomatic positions. Just behind Mr. Glenn Noel and Miss Andrea St. Bernard, you have Mr. Aaron Moses. He is Grenada's ambassador to Carriacou. And he is also known to be an avid supporter of the National Democratic Congress. I don't know if he has ever held any official capacity on the executive of the National Democratic Congress. But everybody know he's an NDC. Everybody know that a political appointment. Yeah? Next to Miss Andrea St. Bernard with the red bow tie, looking like something out of Dr. Seuss comic book, you see Mr. Jerry Hopkins. Yeah, no, sorry for that. But the man look like something out of Dr. Seuss in shoot. Right. All he needs is a top hat. Perfect character for a Dr. Seuss. Those are, you know Dr. Seuss, yeah? The cat in the hat and all them kind of thing, right? Yeah, he looked like something out of Dr. Seuss. But the man with the red bow tie. Again, Mr. Jerry Hopkins, another political appointee. If I am not wrong, he has held positions on the executive of the NDC out there in the diaspora, right? Behind him, you have Mr. Sylvester Qualis, who is the present chairman. So you have 1, 2, 3 people there at least who have present positions on the NDC executive. And then you see the big face in the back there, that Mr. Terence Forrester, the Assistant Public Relations Officer and the present executive of the NDC, who as well holds a diplomatic position. So when they come talking about the vast majority of people, because you have one in America and you have one in England, and they're trying to use that now to give the impression that but the vast majority of people that you have are political appointees. They are political appointees. No if, what, or but about it. They are political appointees.
We opened up the process. I can name, for example, our ambassador to the U.S. and the OAS, Ambassador Tally Francis. He came through that process of expressions of interest. Our High Commissioner to the UK, Miss Rashe Crony. I do not know of her political allegiance. She expressed her interest. We did our background checks. We checked out her.
You do background checks on a person and you don't know the political allegiance. Come on, all you ask if she support or she don't support, and take all you ask. And I'm not saying that she supports. Maybe she doesn't support the NDC, but they just had to make sure and put there's a thing called tokenism. Tokenism involves placing somebody there to say that you have them there. So you have 10 people, 10 men, right? You take out one man from there and you put in a woman to say that we have women representation. Just because you have a woman there, you say you have women representation. But you only put the woman there as a token. Yeah, it's called tokenism, right? So don't give the impression that you all are creating a professional diplomatic, you all finding jobs for the boys. Just admit that. That's what you all doing. That's why you have to choke, because you all just finding jobs for the boys.
Credentials. She went through the interview process, the training process, and we found that she was the best fit, and so we appointed her. So far, she has been doing.
But the girl good. I ain't asking about that. Miss Risha Crony is an excellent young lady. So what you do hire her. But again, there are other young people that they could have hired for these positions because they said they're looking to develop. Mr. Qualis, I know this man has been retired for so many years. I ain't even want to make a guess or hazard a guess at Mr. Qualis's age, because I'm not one that is going to say that a person should not get a position because of their age. They are the ones that were saying that all these years. They are the ones that have been talking about the youth. They are the ones who have been saying that young people need to be represented. Let me hear.
An excellent job. And up to now, I do not know what her political allegiance is, but she's a consummate professional.
All right.
Yeah. We know she's a professional and so nice, great. She's doing an excellent job. But again, let me use the example again. You have a group of 10 men. You take out one of the men. You say, you step aside. And you bring a woman in. And you just bring the woman in to say that, oh, hey, we have woman representation, tokenism. But the vast majority, everybody else is men. Just like in this case, everybody else, you know, is supportive of the National Democratic Congress outside of the couple names he may call, and we still ain't sure on that. But the couple names that he calls, the rest is supporters. We have a call online. Good evening.
Yeah, good night, Brother Sheldon. Good night.
Good night.
You know, more I listen to these people, bro. I mean, with due respect to the offices and all of that, I don't want to sound disrespectful.
Because sure, can we have a sheet over she TV right now? Because you know, and she probably blocking. She ain't listening. I'm telling you, I know me Cammy. She ain't listening them. Once you see that come on, she gone.
Good night, Cammy. Yeah, but listen, Sheldon. The better these people blindfold Grenadians and put some cock in the air that they can hear or see. Yeah, because but just listen what the gentleman said. He did background check and do not know, as you alluded, right? The other thing is that from the inception of this new NBC, they were talking about youth. You know, we want to the youth involvement all over the place. All meeting they had, the youth, some of the youth behind them jumping up because they were looking forward for some appointment or some placement and so on. But look what they are doing. Look what they are doing, right? So the thing about it is that the young people of this country and Grenadians on a whole, believe me, you brother, they're taking note. They are taking note. You see, Grenadians are not a people that would be fooled twice. Even though they think and they make the mistake, they correct it, they move on, and maybe they might make the same mistake again next time. But tell you what, this time, they're back to the base. They're going back to the base. Right? Yeah, and there's no back-to-back mistake anymore.
Youth.
Watch me. I mean, look at the team that they have standing there. From the Honorable Glenn Noel, His Excellency, go right up to my good friend, the Carriacou. Yeah, right up to him. Yeah. So
I still believe that I still believe I've left out one person there, because there's an ambassador that has the responsibility for I think they're supposed to be working with healthcare. That person was brought in at the same time that Miss Andrea St. Bernard and Kijana Romaine was brought in. That is another political appointee because I believe that individual is the uncle of the present Minister of Youth, who was at that point in time the Minister of Health, if I'm not incorrect, yeah?
Yeah.
So another political appointee again.
Mr. Lacret.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, watch me. This is a very sad picture. Ministers, you all are really, really not doing the best. You all are not doing good at all because you all are lying. You all are, look at what happened to you, Mr. Minister. While you said that you all didn't read the Samora document yet, right? You had your ambassador down in Brussels sign the document, right? And look at that. Grenadians are not making noise about this. What a peaceful nation. Thank God. Listen. The second era would be worse than the first one. Try that again and you're going to see what kind of people you have here. Do that again. Right? I know what they would do. They would vote you out because of that, Right? Because when you study and look into the Samora document, umpteen of unwanted stuff inside there that is not according to our culture. Yes, money is across the board. Anybody could use money. regardless what culture you have.
The money thing is a funny thing. You remember that song?
Right? So it's the money, because that's what our Prime Minister said, you know. Right? We need budgetary or financing support. We need that. So the Somora document, the things that are in it, man, it paved, there's all the streets of Grenada. I am saying that. He didn't say that. All the streets of Grenada would be paved with money. Yeah? Sell your birthright. Sell out your morality. Yeah? But there is a day coming that they are the polls. Have a good night.
All right. Thank you so very much, caller. Yes, indeed. We're going to come back to the phone line in a little while. Let's see what I was saying before in relation to issues like this. You know, we like to...
I'm extremely pleased to announce to the nation that we have made significant progress with the appointment of people to lead our diplomatic missions abroad. In keeping with government's new thrust on the diplomatic front, we believe in the formation of a professional foreign service.
They believe in the formation of a what? Not political appointees, a professional foreign service. So we just want to make sure.
On the diplomatic front, we believe in the formation of a professional foreign service. We think that it is important that we seek out the best among us, that we provide opportunities for people who have dedicated their lives to service at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Trade and Export Development, but also for young professionals who wish to embark on a career of diplomacy.
No, does that song as Mr. Sylvester Wallace to you? Yeah, I don't no beef with Mr. Sylvester Wallace, but I'm just asking. Does that sound as Mr. Sylvester Wallace to you? This is when they were introducing the different diplomatic positions, who's been placed where and so on. Yeah, this was around the 23rd of March, 2023. 23rd of March, 2023 or thereabouts, right?
Announced to the nation that we have made significant progress with the appointment of people to lead our diplomatic missions abroad. In keeping with government's new thrust on the diplomatic front, we believe in the formation of a professional foreign service. We think that it is important that we seek out the best among us, that we provide opportunities for people who have dedicated their lives to service at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Trade and Export Development, but also for young professionals who wish to embark on a career of diplomacy.
For who? For who? I mean, for people who've been serving in diplomacy before. So you're telling me that there is staff within the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. There are various diplomatic staff. There are people who have been working in that field for an extended number of years, some of them young, that could be placed in the diplomatic position. So your first order were people who were working in that ministry before, you would grab them and use those people as the ones you're going to train professionally. They've already gotten a lot of training since they've been in the ministry, and then you're going to put them out as foreign service officers, whether as ambassadors, consul generals, high commissioners, etc. You're going to put them out there. So how does that cover Mr. Sylvester Wallace? I'm still trying to figure. You all just wanted a job for the boys. Just say that. Yeah? Just say that. That's why you choked this morning. You choke because, again, your own lies and hypocrisy is coming back to haunt you. So that's why you choke when you was talking this morning. We know anytime you get catching them kind of position, you start to choke, eh? Yeah, we know that. We kind of read you by now, so we understand. So once again, and we ain't going to play that again after that. Yeah?
That we have made significant progress with the appointment of people to lead our diplomatic missions abroad. In keeping with government's new thrust on the diplomatic front, we believe in the formation of a professional foreign service. We think that it is important that we seek out the best among us, that we provide opportunities for people who have dedicated their lives to service at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Well, I don't think that any of that describes Mr. Sylvester Qualles, but maybe I could be wrong. Folks, the phone lines are open. 440-7377, 347-329-3101. I don't think any of that describes Mr. Sylvester Qualles. You all find the brother need a little cash, and you all trying to set up the brother. Just say that. It could be that, or it could be that you all may be having a political issue with the brother, and therefore you all need to get the brother off the island. Sometimes that's the methodology that they use. For instance, they did not want Glenn Noel around. Let me repeat that, because some of you all maybe don't understand what take place there. They sent Glenn as ambassador because they did not want Glenn on the island, not because Glenn was so eminently qualified, not because he has been working in the diplomatic field for many years, not because he was the best person and they didn't have other people applying to try and get the job to go. They sent Glenn to get rid of him from Grenada. They didn't want him around. So let me see if I find another one here. Let me see if this is another one. There's another one. Let me see if I hear that.
We are again keeping...
Let me see. No, I think this is a different one. Let's see. Let's see what we have here. And let me see if we could hear what we hear in there. Let me see what you have to say this time.
And we are again keeping true to our word to ensure that people who are appointed are not all or not necessarily political appointees, but people from the general population with an interest in serving the nation and with the necessary skills and capacity to do so.
So anybody believe that Mr. Qualles has the skills and capacity to be the Grenada's main person in Canada? I am not doubting the man's capabilities. Run businesses for maybe longer than I have been alive. Yeah, so he probably running businesses before I born. All right, and he's been involved in different areas. But you're saying that you were looking for people who were working within the foreign service in the ministry. So you're telling me that there was nobody in the ministry that they could have considered to elevate to the position of High Commissioner? Nobody in that ministry was worth that they could have elevated and sent to Canada, and that they did not receive an application from anybody else to be able to go and hold that position? Let me hear again.
And we are again keeping true to our word to ensure that people who are appointed are not all or not necessarily political appointees, but people from the general population with an interest in serving the nation and with the necessary skills and capacity to do so. We ensure that
We've been hearing from various sources about various possible economic issues around the individual that you're sending as the High Commissioner to Canada. So if the man broke and you all need to help out the man and you need to get the brother work, come to the Grenadian people and tell them, yo, the brother broke or the brother have financial issues and we need to send him so that he could raise our money. Just tell the man that. Just tell Grenadians that we go understand. Don't try and bamboozle us. You go choke. Don't do that. You go choke. Yeah? Don't try to bamboozle us. Just tell people as it is. Just tell people as it is. And people may understand. They may say, well, yes, okay, we understand. Politically, other countries do it, other parties do it. You all want to send the man. So we understand that. People might understand. Yeah? People might understand, because every time you all try to lie.
Now, in our case, I believe that the first controversy came about because of, I wouldn't even call it a misunderstanding. A couple of Wednesdays ago, I was engaged at the Parliament in a meeting of the House Committee.
Right.
Prior to that, I had an engagement with the Chinese ambassador. And immediately following the House Committee meeting, the Prime Minister and I hosted a press conference.
Right.
So what happened then is that while I was engaged and virtually incommunicado for that period, our ambassador in Brussels had signed the agreement.
Right.
So in response to a reporter's question, I had said, no, we had not signed. That being based on knowledge and information I had up to that point. It transpired that I was wrong. I take full responsibility for that. There was nothing sinister. Yeah.
But just when you're trying to get out the part that there's nothing sinister. Okay. Oops, we have a call online. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Hi, Sheldon. Good evening.
Good evening, my dear.
Help me out here, honey. If Sylvester Quallis cannot successfully run a gas station, how on earth would he be able to negotiate to lift visa restrictions? How laughable. These people really take us for stupidities. Have a good night, honey.
All right. Thank you so very much. Yes, indeed. Well, I don't know. The man running the thing for a long period of time. You know, he had the gas station and them for a long period of time. I don't know how we're going to base the success, but I will tell you this. Sometimes they place people as far away from Grenada as possible so they could have as least effect on Grenada as possible. At times they place people as far away from the political entity so that the person can have the least effect on the political entity as possible. So you may take, like Glenn, you take him and you throw him in Cuba because you don't want him to affect anything politically for you here. So you get rid of him out of people's sight. You take Quallis and you're sending him further afield. You even want him in the Caribbean. You're sending him in Canada because there may be issues. There may be issues that you have. Yeah, so we know what has happened with this individual when they get some of them tough questions. Imagine they was on their own setting there and let me hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, the throat is getting a little dry.
Yeah.
We get some water.
Yeah, there was, sorry.
Yeah.
There was nothing sinister about that. It was just a question that I had not yet received.
Don't worry. We get a little bit of water. We just take a short break at this time and come right back.
Watch, Minister, visit them Rasta, man. Them men and them have some concoction they could give you that will help you with your throat. There seems to be a problem. No, I'm being serious here. This is not a joke or something. It seems as though the minister has a problem with his throat for this thing to be constantly happening to him, especially when he gets in a certain way, like somebody poses a question and he isn't being truthful. There's a physical aspect to that. There's an emotional, but there's a physical aspect to that. I would suggest that you check a doctor out in relation to that. The water, sometimes, especially the water cold, it might not be helping the situation. There may be something else. Because to constantly be choking every time you're lying like that, I mean, come on, man, put some honey. Do like your boss. Try to swallow something of honey and thing, man. Yeah, you gotta get. Folks, let's go to the phone line. Hello, good evening. Hello.
Hey, good night, Sheldon. Good night, Sheldon.
Night, bro.
Right.
Hi, good man. Go right ahead.
Sheldon, two things quickly. The house is in St. David's. Do you know that you have to go to the bank, get a statement of your account if you have money, then go to housing authority to get a viewing of the houses?
Go that over with me again. The process over there with me again.
All right. To get a viewing of the house, the condominium in St. David's, you have to make an appointment with the HAG. Go to the bank. Get an assurance that you're taking a loan and come back to HAG and show them to get a viewing of the house.
Yeah, I knew that was
you cannot just walk up there.
Yeah, that was the procedure. Yeah, you can't just go and view no house. You have to be assured. You have to be assured that you're getting the loan before they carry and show it, Papa. So you're buying the cat in the bag. After you're done organize the money and thing and tie yourself in with the bank is when you're getting to see.
And secondly, what is Mr. Quallis' affiliation to NDC right now?
He's the chairman of the National Democratic Congress.
Right. So there you go.
But we said that.
Who follows party politics, they will understand what goes on when convention come around. Have a good night.
Well, we said that, eh? Nice. Okay, brother. So, yeah, no, the ambassador in China, somebody said, and they said the ambassador in China is a political appointee as well. Yeah? when it comes to the ambassador in China, I will say this. She's a young lady. I would say she's a very intelligent young lady. I believe she's a very intelligent young lady who has been trained in the field of diplomacy, yes. During the election campaign, she did do the picture of the then political leader, the NDC, and present him on stage and that sort of thing. So yes, there may be a political element to it, but I will say that that young lady is a very intelligent young lady. She has training in that field, and I would give her a pass. Yeah, I would give her a pass when it comes to that one. Nice? Yeah, I would give her a pass when it comes. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I just give somebody a pass. I will give the young lady a pass. I wouldn't say that necessarily she's just a political appointee, but I know she has, if I can remember correctly, she has a master's in diplomacy. A master's degree, not just a bachelor's. Like certain people are bachelors. She has a master's in diplomacy, if I remember correctly. So I'd give her a pass. Yeah, yes, she went on stage during a NDC thing, and I'm not sure, I can't remember if she had on an NDC or a yellow t-shirt or whatever. That is beyond the thing. But she has the capability. Mr. Qualis himself, yes, he has ran his businesses so many years. I would not get into whether he was successful or not successful or different thing. Ole go discuss that after class, right? When Ole go outside in the hallway after class, Ole go discuss that. Just don't let it be the hallway in Subi's there. Don't go in that hallway and try to discuss. But after class, you could discuss in the hallway, right? But I will say this. If you have said that you're looking for young people, you're looking for competent people who have worked in the system before to try and build a system, I don't see you taking somebody who is the chairperson of the NDC. So you take the chairperson of the NDC. You have the PRO of the NDC. You have the treasurer of the NDC. You have former floor members and so like Black Wizard and so. You have even members of other executives outside of Grenada like Mr. Jerry Hopkins and so, who you take and put as diplomats going out there. You have a political diplomatic corps. It nearly looking exactly the same as the NDC executive. So don't give us this kind of thing about you building a professional corps. If you all are looking outside there for the opportunities for Grenadians, you would send people who are trained, who don't have to learn on the job, because by the time this individual learns on the job, his time will be over. And so will his governments. That ain't taking too long. Yeah? Because I think it's 2-year appointment and they're giving that kind of thing. Yeah, that's if they make the 2 years that they're giving appointments for. Right? So understand that. You can't... My goodness. Yeah. Let me see what they had to say. I wonder if this is the one here. I had another one I wanted to play, Yeah, let me see if this is the one. Yeah, I think this might be it.
Diplomats are required to do has committed $2.5 million for the rationalization of our diplomatic missions. In 2023, the ministry will conduct a comprehensive review of the operations of our existing missions and identify strategic locations for the establishment of new missions in keeping with government's priorities. And
so in other words, we're in 2024 now. They said in 2023 they were going to go and decide where they're going to set up missions and that sort of thing. They spent $2.5 million on the process to bring back people and send out new people, temporary people, and so on. Let's take this call. Hello, good night. Hello.
Hi, good night, Sheldon.
Hi, good night.
How are you, sir?
I'm quite fine. You're live. Go right ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to remember 2022 during the election campaign. I can remember the now Minister of St. John's had mentioned about a shadow cabinet within the NDC. I don't know how much people remember that. And the next thing, just remember the gas station in Guelph closed. So we could do some investigation of why it closed. So Mr. Call get a blind. Thank you very much.
All right, my brother. Well, I'll do some investigation. I'll go investigate and inquire. I'll do some inquiring to find out exactly what took place there. By saying, if you all giving somebody a blight to make our money, just say you're giving somebody a blight to make our money. Don't try to fool us into believing it's something else. Yeah. So let's take it from the start here to here, because I think we're quickly running out of time Yeah, so we got to just play and we can't take for now.
Recognizing the importance of the work that our diplomats are required to do, has committed $2.5 million for the rationalization of our diplomatic missions. In 2023, the ministry will conduct a comprehensive review of the operations of our existing missions and identify strategic locations for the establishment of new missions in keeping with government's priorities and interests. It is no secret, Mr. Speaker, that diplomatic missions are expensive to maintain. Funding diplomatic operations must be an investment for which we can and must reap great rewards. We must staff our missions appropriately and allow them to go forth in service of their country.
You must do what? Let me hear that again, because I think you're sending somebody who has no training in that particular field there. So let's hear.
The ministry will conduct a comprehensive review of the operations of our existing missions and identify strategic locations for the establishment of new missions in keeping with government's priorities and interests.
Right, so you've done that now, you decided it, but you still can't tell us this morning how much it costs. But anyhow, okay.
It is no secret, Mr. Speaker, that diplomatic missions are expensive to maintain.
Yeah, we know that is not a secret. That's why we're asking how much will it be to maintain. And if you're going to do it, and if you're going to spend that kind of money, you need to send people there who are going to give us value for money from the time that they're there and not be learning on the job for the next 24 months.
Funding diplomatic operations must be an investment for which we can and must reap great rewards. We must staff our missions appropriately and allow them to go forth in service of their country, sowing the seeds of development with diligence, nurturing the plant, and reaping the harvest for the benefit of our nation. Mr. Speaker, in 2023, the ministry will begin the process of professionalizing the Foreign Service. In transforming the face of Grenada, government has recognized that the diplomatic knowledge, skills, and competences that are critical to a fully functioning Foreign Service will be in greater, not lesser demand.
Okay, so you need fully competent people, right? Okay, we're listening.
Since assuming office, the ministry has received tons of applications from Grenadians, home and abroad, expressing their interest in serving their country in the diplomatic field. Government is proceeding to carefully analyze these applications with a view to selecting the best candidates for the job. At the same time, in pursuit of our transformational agenda, we've been challenged to be more flexible, to adapt and learn at a much more accelerated pace and achieve results that matter. With that mandate in mind, the ministry is committed to the overarching goal of professionalizing the Foreign Service. We are also committed to developing a strategy for employment opportunities abroad and in international organizations targeting professionals and the youth. This is very critical. Not everyone will be able to find a position within the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. However, if we prepare our people, train them well, then there are several international organizations, UN, OAS, and so on, within which they can provide valuable service and help to lift the profile of our country. In this regard, the ministry in 2023 will begin the process of training current and prospective diplomats.
Well, I wonder if Mr. Qualis received any of that training, because I didn't see him in any of the videos and pictures that I saw of training. I'm quickly running out of time, so I can't deal with that part.
In an effort to recruit, retrain, retain, and sustain a diverse cadre of diplomats ready to move Grenada forward in 2023 and beyond. Mr. Speaker, the Foreign Service is Grenada's frontline. More than ever, we need our very best people.
So we have people that have diplomatic training working in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Some of them have gone to other ministries and so. We have people that have degrees. We have people that have training. And according to the minister, we have tons of applications, not one or two, tons of applications that came in for people who wanted to be part of Grenada's Foreign Service. And yet still, we end up with the chairman of the NDC the treasurer in the NDC. We end up with the PRO and the deputy PRO in the NDC. You end up with Dr. Trevor Lane, who related to one of the ministers and so. You end up with all the people in the NDC as the ones with the diplomatic postings. And the only one out of all of them that I know have some sort of training, I believe is Miss Crony, I believe has some diplomatic training from what I know. Miss Bethel has some training from what I know, right? So I will give two of them a pass, but you can tell me that a government is going to go and send people to represent it abroad. Listen to me. That a government that has particular things that it wants to achieve internationally and so on is going to send people abroad to represent it who they don't know the political leaning. So the people might go out there and do things to embarrass them and so on, or use the opportunity to stab them in the back just when it matters most. Joke all you're making with that. Yeah? Joke all you're making with that. Folks, we're quickly running out of time. I'm sorry, I can't play anything more tonight. I can't play. I wonder if I could play one thing again tonight. I have this again to play by. I wonder if I could play one again tonight. I wonder if this is the one. Let me see if this is the right one.
There's been some talk floating around. The name is Sylvester Corliss. It's been floating around as a new high commissioner.
It's not the one I was going and play, but since it's there, let me just make sure. Let me just make sure here. Yeah.
Have one. Why not him? Okay.
Agreeable, so.
Yes, yeah. And in the appointment of...
So especially when it comes to the state, the appointment would not be on understand how it feels sometimes.
Let me just
from those expressions.
Let's just remember what has happened every time he start to tell untruths. Let me just go down here. Yeah, let me see what has happened every time he started to talk untruths.
And a number of our appointees, whether they be ambassadors or people serving as consulars or first or third secretaries.
Yeah, sure. Take that drip of water there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A number of them have come from those expressions of interest.
Mm-hmm.
And in the mix, we have had a couple of political appointees.
Right.
But our thrust is to form a cadre of professionals, of career diplomats, so that down the road we get to a stage where even if the administration changes, because you're dealing with professionals, then
you maybe need to grab that drink of water again.
Yeah, grab the drink. Grab that drink of water again. Yeah, because we know every time you start to say thing that you know for a fact is not true. Every time you start to say things that you know not true, we know what does happen with you. Yeah, we know what does happen with you.
Mm-hmm. I take full responsibility for that. There was nothing sinister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the throat is getting a little dry.
Yeah.
We'll get some water.
Yeah.
So
sorry.
Yeah.
We kind of understand the minister now. Folks, that's all the time we have for Talking Points tonight. It's been wonderful being here with you. In everything you say and do, do it safe and secure. I want to be speaking to and with you, and definitely not about you. My name's Sheldon Scott. Love each and every one of you. We'll be back tomorrow night, God's willing, with more Talking Points just for you. I need to get out of here right about now. So let me just get this one and road.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Na, 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 na. Whoa. Dr. Rod, turn it up for Grenada. Yeah. My land that you celebrate 50. Some call you a little